for the start of the Betfred World Snooker Championship for another year here at the fabulous Crucible Theatre, Sheffield. Young man Dave Gilbert has just broke off very, very poorly. Been a bit fortunate not to leave anything easy, but Gilbert's now a seasoned campaigner, has been a pro for quite some time. Very, very good break builder. He's made over 20 centuries this season, so it's not going to be easy for Martin Gould. With me in the commentary box is the 1979 world champion Terry Griffiths. Tough one to call, but Gould would have to be favourite, Terry.
Yes, you'd have to put in favourite, really. Yes. The nervous break-off from Dave Gilbert doesn't help. What a great pot straight away from Martin Gould. He's a tremendous potter. Up to number 12 in the world. And has performed well here at the Crucible, and at times he's a very gutsy player. And one thing I've noticed about him is when he comes under a lot of pressure, he seems to get better.
He hasn't had the greatest of seasons. Okay, in the PTCs he's been doing quite well, but in ranking events he's only had, I think, one quarter-final. Terry was just mentioning to me off camera. But he's a very, very good break builder. Likes to go for his shots. And Terry mentioned he's had a good Crucible debut a few years ago when he should have actually beaten Neil Robertson, I should say, in the quarter-final match, and led by quite a considerable margin. Didn't expect him to miss that one. Never settle, Terry, at the Crucible till you get the first frame on the board, do you?
You never settle full stop in the Crucible. It's the ultimate test of a player's temperament. Dave Gilbert then, he came off tour last year and came back through the qualifying school, which of course is taking place up in the Sheffield Academy, May the 13th to the 30th. There'll be a lot of young players up there trying to get their tour place. Very positive shot. I watched Dave Gilbert play in the qualifiers against Fergal O'Brien last week up at the Academy. Played very well indeed. I think he won 10-4, 10-5 against Fergal O'Brien. That's always a good score. Any win against him is tough. Relies heavily on his scoring. He played Stephen Hendry here a few years ago. I think he led him 5-1 or 5-2 and lost in the end in the first round. So he's had experience at the Crucible before.
Seven. Eight. Well,
this effort will settle Dave down. He's coming to the table after a missed pink in the middle from Martin Gould. The first four frames here are always the hardest of the season because there's such a build-up to the World Championships. Everybody puts that extra little bit of effort on the table and off
15.
To get themselves ready to play the Crucible. And by the time you come out, you're so nervous, built up over weeks, that it's almost impossible to have a clear mind out there.
22.
Well, he's got the balls nicely now, hasn't he? He's got an excellent chance to make a sizable contribution here, if not one of frame-winning proportion. He can win the frame now with just taking the 6 loose reds and 6 colours.
28. 29.
Has made 1 century at the Crucible before, as Dave Gilbert. Can't see a century coming from here where the black is, but there's a possibility.
35. 36. 42. 43.
2007, Dave Gilbert was last year at the Crucible, so it's quite a long gap. Failed to qualify. It's tough in the qualifying, and there's so many good players there these days. There's no easy rounds, not even in the first round. Every year the quality of the players, even the lower ranked ones, is improving. Well, he played for the one in the middle, but the one just below the pink spot is also available. Didn't play for it, but he'll take it.
$49.
I just lost the cue ball on the last couple of shots. You can see how quick the table is. Usually the first day here at the Crucible. Not quite as quick, but it's very lively this morning. So 42 points in front, the blue 47. 2 more reds and 2 colours should be just about enough. That came off the back cushion a lot slower than it went on.
54. $55.
Colour, red colour, and Dave Gilbert will get his first frame on the board.
$58. Dave Gilbert, 58.
Well, it's a good effort from Dave Gilbert, but he disappointed with the miss. His main problem, of course, he didn't get position on this red. I'm going to play it with the rest. Still strong favourite for the first frame.
One.
Excellent pot under pressure, especially now if you can get top side of the blue with an angle. Doesn't necessarily have to bring those 2 reds into play, but it would be a very big target to hit them from the blue. So just in between the brown and the blue, leave the half ball shot on the blue to leave that cannon a possibility.
4.
Could have done with it being a bit high. It's still okay. He's going to have to force the cannon now if he plays it. The only reason I'd suggested bringing them into open play, with the black being safe, he's only got 1 colour to get onto from the next red. decided to leave a pot down the cushion, and that's not been played very well. This is tough.
9.
Excellent.
10.
Excellent. This is an excellent shot. The black's just in the way to make it perfect to stun on and off the cushion, but you have to play this at pace. See, the black was always going to be in the way there. That little flick off the black there. Just if he'd have missed the kiss on the black, it'd have been perfect. Just keep an eye on the black. Just
16.
Flicked it. Took a little bit of pace out of it. 35 behind, so obviously can only tie now. They decide obviously to pot this and then get the one snooker he needs. That's what we tried to do. Went for the to try and tie the game with the black, but that's certainly the end of first frame.
1. Seven. 9.
Well, there would have been nerves when he missed the final red, but the nerves would have settled now. The fact that he got another chance. So a break of 58 from Dave Gilbert was